All right, welcome back to Net to Net Podcast. It's been a minute since we've done this. Back with another soccer episode. Today we're going to talk about the MLS starting up. Talk about Inter Miami, Columbus Crew. Also talk about the U.S. roster going into, I believe it's late March, is the Nations League semifinal games against Jamaica, who will be on that squad, and kind of previewing to Copa America as well as the Olympics in Paris. That's usually the under-23s with three old senior players as well going to that. We'll talk about Premier League and La Liga and touch bases on kind of the coaching situations more in depth a little bit. So we're gonna swing it over to Casey.
Yeah, so a lot going on especially with the U.S. Men's national team currently. You know, the 60-man roster was just released for the upcoming tournaments. I would like to know your thoughts, Sam, on who you think. We'll start by goalkeeper. Who we think is going to go based on the 60-man roster. You're looking at Drake Callender out of Inter Miami, Ethan Horvath, Cardiff, Sean Johnson from Toronto, obviously Diego Cachin from FC Barcelona, Patrick Schulte from our Columbus Crew, Gaga Salonia from I thought he played for Chelsea. No.
Yeah, he's on loan at.
He's on loan. Okay, yeah.
KS Europe.
Zach Steffen, Matt Turner, and who do you think is going to be going to the next tournaments?
So I think 100% a lock is Matt Turner. Matt Turner is probably got the most game time out of any U.S. men's goalkeeper right now. That's still active. It's his spot to lose. He's looked good when he's played. I don't know why Nuno Espirito decided to go out and buy Matt Sells from the Belgian league in January when he had two decently good keepers in Matt Turner and Orici Vladikoshi from the Greek goalie who they bought in the summer. I think it depends. Matt Turner, it's his thing to lose. If he's not playing a lot, he might not play, but I doubt that. I think he will play. And then the two other keepers, I think whoever has the hot hand in MLS and who's in best form, Ethan Horvath just played his first game for Cardiff, and he made some great saves. Zach Steffen back to playing. Did not look great against Portland Timbers, but that is Portland. And Colorado's not the best team. There's a lot of new faces there, so a lot of gelling. I would take going to Copa America. It's 26-man roster that makes it, so three keepers will probably go. I'm gonna say Zach Steffen goes, depending on form. Matt Turner 100% will go, and it's either going to be Ethan Horvath or Drake Callender, depending on who's in form at that time. With the others, I think Salinia, Schulte, and Diego Cachin will go to Paris. I just think those three are pretty good that you can send to Paris. I know as a Columbus Crew fan, I'm going to be sad that Schulte won't be there when we need him, especially in July, because we're going to be missing a lot of those players due to Copa and Paris. But I think Schulte goes with Gaga and there's a chance that Gaga goes to both. He can learn. Good. He won't play. And then Sean Johnson, you never know. Berhalter likes him.
Yeah, I mean, all good selections there. I kind of agree with you on the two there. I mean, Zach Steffen is kind of we think he should go, right? He should go based on form and his previous playing time. He hasn't really done too much over the past few years. You know, Matt Turner, we both agree is a lock here. Zach Steffen, think should be a lock, but hasn't really lived up to what we all thought he could be based on when he went to Man City from the Columbus Crew, and he was the best goalie in the MLS at the time. Um,
Well,
so
I think we would have the same exact conversation if Matt Turner was in Steffen's shoes. Matt Turner, if
yeah,
he because he was the best goalie in MLS when he left, and he goes to Arsenal and barely plays at Arsenal. So it's the same conversation. It's just Steffen wasn't Steffen was getting loaned out, but he was also injured a lot, so
yeah,
he wasn't getting the game time. Turner was getting game time a little bit. So I think in the same situation, if you and it is the same situation, he had Ramsdale in front of him. Steffen had Ederson in
right.
front of him.
But
They're not going to play for those guys.
Matt Turner got a lot more game time, and you brought up injuries is one thing, but I think another thing is Matt Turner became a leader, for that men's national team. I mean, you look at what he did for the Gold Cup when we won it, and he was an integral part of leading that team. And he even comes back to games after the Gold Cup, and when a lot of people say he didn't have to, that's just
Yeah,
something he wants to be a captain for the
and
men's
I
national
remember
team,
that
and
Gold Cup. He asked to be on that team. He didn't
yeah,
have to be on that Gold Cup team. He asked to be on that team. He wanted to be that leader. And to think about it, the year before, we might not even have this conversation now because Zach Steffen was a starter. He goes down injured, and
yeah.
Ethan Horvath comes in. So maybe if Steffen didn't go down in that Gold Cup, he would still be the starter. But I think if Steffen has a really good games leading up in MLS and in the Leagues Cup, he can regain the starter from Matt Turner because Matt Turner's not going to be playing that much.
Yeah, okay, I get that. I think the third goalie, however, is going to be Drake Callender. He looked pretty on fire in that LAFC game that they just played in LA again with Inter Miami, of course. And I think that he's going to be a fan favorite. People like Drake Callender; they know his name. He's up and coming. He's playing with Messi. He played well even last year. When they were going through the Leagues Cup, and he got all that publicity and attention and everything. Although he wasn't great the rest of the year, I mean, he still is regarded as a really good keeper, and he could definitely show out this season and make it for sure.
Oh, 100%. He had a really good save against, I believe it was Ricky Puig,
Ricky Puig, yeah.
Ricky Pooch with the penalty save, and he had some great saves. He only conceded one, and to be honest, that goal he conceded wasn't even his fault. He came out and made himself big, and
Yep.
he made two saves previously before that. It was two saves, and then it rebounded out to I think it was Mark Delgado, and then it was just a tap in on the back stick. So it's not even his fault. But yeah, he looked good. I think he goes. I like the shout, and I like the other three going to Paris because they're young enough, and Schulte's a really good keeper. He's only 22.
I hope Schultz starts on that team. That would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be great. Great for
I don't know
US.
if he will, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move over to the defenders here. I think there are a few locks. Serginho Dest is a lock. Tim Ream's a lock. I think Walker Zimmerman's a lock, and Antoine Robinson, another lock. All guys that have played with the U.S. men's national team at the highest level. Just trying to, go for. You don't think so?
I don't think Kyle Walker, not Kyle Walker Zimmerman is a lock. I agree.
Really?
I agree with Anton Robinson. I agree with Serginho Dest. Both those guys could literally not play the rest of the season, and they'll go. I think Chris Richards is a lock, 100%. The way he's been playing for Crystal Palace,
he has been playing well. I will say
he's played very well. He scored his first Premier League goal last week against Man U, which is great to see. I think he's a lock. Tim Ream, yes, is a lock. He is 33 years old, probably going on 34 at that time. I think
he's
he'll
still
go.
Too good to leave off. Yeah.
I think he'll go. I want to say Miles Robinson's a lock, but I've heard people say he isn't, just because of his inconsistency last year.
Yeah.
And coming back from injury, he hasn't looked like peak Miles Robinson, but he is on a new club. He is in a new team, so maybe he gets a shout. I think Walker Zimmerman goes, depending on the fitness level of Cameron Carter-Vicker coming off of the season with Celtic. I think he's promising. 25 years old, still young enough. He's looked pretty good. Um, Outside of that, do we see a Mark McKenzie go? I think Joe Scally on the outside is a lock 100%. He is the
Yeah,
backup to either side. My thing is, do you bring DeAndre Yedlin or do you wait and let him play in Paris? That is
it's a
the
good
question.
question. I mean, he's been pretty good for Inter Miami. He was pretty good last year as well. He was their captain and everything. Um, but does he is he really still there? All like, is he as good as he used to be? Back in his prime and when he's back in the prem and everything. And I'm not sure. He could be a backup, but he's not. He's definitely not going to start, and he probably won't get minutes if he even does go. So it all
Yeah,
depends. But I don't.
I could see
I'm not.
him going as a backup and not playing, and then going to Paris and playing,
Yeah,
and wearing the captain's band and doing it. It's just for me. I think there's a outside of Robinson and Dest on the outside and Scally. We really don't sub them
yeah.
unless there's like a severe injury or if Dest gets subbed, it gets a red
Just
card,
gets a
which
red
is
card. Yeah.
which is possible. I think there's a lot more center backs. I don't think Christoph Lund from Palmero is going to go. I think he'll go to Paris. I think DeJuan Jones could go to Copa, um, just as that extra body. Reggie Cannon, I don't think will go anytime soon. Now the main question is, does John Brooks make the squad? And for our viewers out there, so this roster was released, and then they added two more names at the end. So it's all in alphabetical order, except for they added John Brooks at the end and Bernardo Camongo. So it was all in alphabetical order, and those two were at the end. So they were late ads. Does John Brooks make the squad? That is the question that everybody's going to ask.
And honestly, I think he will. I think Berhalter really wants him on the team. As much as a lot of U.S. fans don't really like him that much, I think he probably will end up making the squad, just because he's playing for over in Europe for Hoffenheim, and although he hasn't been the best for the U.S., he probably will make the squad. I think.
Well, with John Brooks, he hasn't made the squad since Berhalter's taken over the U.S. team. So it
Oh, am I
is kind
thinking
of
of?
shocking.
I'm thinking of Velasco, and then mind.
Yeah, so he hasn't made it since. Yeah,
Yeah,
so Brooks hasn't been called up since Klinsmann was there.
that's right. Klinsmann loved him. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
Klinsmann loved him. Berhalter has not called him up.
yeah.
I don't think John Brooks makes this. I could see him go to Paris because one, Berhalter's not going to coach at Paris, so because Copa takes place right before
I'm
it in
rooting for you,
July
John. Make the squad for the
or
first
June,
time. Here we go.
and not even play for Berhalter. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I could see Walker Zimmerman going. I
yeah.
don't think he's a
I
lock.
think I think he's a lock. I think he'll go. If Berhalter trusts him, he's been good in MLS. Like, he's been steady for the U.S. national team for pretty much his whole career. Like, I think he's gonna go. I don't think you can leave him off here, even if it's off the bench. He'll
He'll
go.
probably come off the bench. I don't think he's a starter. I think the starting lineup is right now it's Turner
Yeah,
in goal, and then your back line is Dest, Anton Robinson, Chris
Ream and
Richards.
Richards.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, you can make an argument for Miles Robinson over Ream due to age, but if Reams is playing well, Reams is going to play.
I don't know. I don't want Miles Robinson, man. Cincinnati, come on, man. He should
Hey,
he should stay home. He should stay home and
stay home.
actually no, because then he'd be playing for Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. You would want him there.
Should go get a red card or something.
Yeah, something like that.
All right,
So now
let's
to the
move.
midfielders.
Yeah, let's move over to the midfielders. Again, there's a few locks here that just stand out. Brennan Aronson, uh, Gio Reyna, Musa, Weston McKinney. But I mean, there's one person here who I don't know if he's a lock anymore. Even though he would be if he was healthy. Our former captain, Tyler Adams, who's been injured pretty much all year this year for Bournemouth. Played for Leeds last year. Um, Sam, what do you think here? Because he was our captain. He's obviously an integral part of this part of our team, part of our nation, and everything. But he hasn't played. He's not going to be in form. He's not going to be sharp. He's not going to be fit. Like, will he be ready for Copa? I mean, what do you think?
So for me, I agree with a lot of what you said. Everybody's pretty much a lock. Tyler Adams, if he is healthy, he is a lock. He is going 100%. Tyler Adams is back is return to training at Bournemouth, and he looks good. He could make his first appearance this weekend, so that will be great if he can do that. I think he needs to get some games. I think
He needs some games. Yeah,
hopefully Bournemouth doesn't rush him and have him play 90 minutes a game because he can't do that right now. He is a lock. Someone that I don't think is a lock that you said is Yunus Musa. Yunus Musa is not a
really,
lock. No, he's
really.
only played 21 times at AC Milan, and like three of those were starts. He's only came off the bench and maybe played like 18 minutes at the most, maybe
Yeah,
19.
but he's a
He is
great
not a lock.
player. He's a good player.
He's a great player, but there are some players that I think could go over him, in the likes of, like uh, you said Brendan Aronson. I think he's a
Brennan
lock, but
Aronson.
I think he'll play on the wing, but he's listed as a midfielder. I think he's a winger, but he's going to play, but he's listed as a midfielder. I think what Johnny Cordoza is doing at Real Betis, coming in January,
Yeah.
already made 6 appearances, has 2 goal contributions, and he can dominate the midfield. We talk about Luca Del Torre. He is playing absolutely phenomenal for Celta de Vigo. He looks great. I like what he's done. 5 goal contributions, pretty good. And in La Liga, those two are playing. Those are getting minutes. Yunus Musa is not getting minutes. I don't like that he's not being used at AC Milan because they bought him to try to use him more, but they really haven't because they've had better players in Benacer and Loftus Cheek and so on and so forth. I don't think he's a lock. I think Cardoza.
Do you think he'll make it though? You might not say he's a lock. Do you think he'll make it?
I think it depends on how everybody else, like how Busio's doing. Busio's played very well this year. Tanner Tessman has played very well. I think Tanner Tessman could probably make it, but I think he's probably going to go to Paris. I don't think he'll come. You have the likes of Timmy Tillman if he can perform and produce in the MLS for the LAFC. He could make it over Eunice. I could see Eunice going to Paris, not to Copa. I could see him going to both. I think he goes to one or the other or both. I don't think he misses out on anything. Um, and then there's one that I think will probably go when he comes back from injury, and that's he's listed as a forward, but it's Benji Kremiski from Inter Miami who plays that
Yeah,
cam position.
yeah,
Right now
Kremeski.
he's
Yeah.
have hernia surgery, so he's not totally back yet, but I think he goes. Um,
Goes
I
where?
think he totally. I think he goes. I think he would go over Yunus Musa.
Really?
hmm I
I don't
just
think. I
I
think
think they're
that's a
big on him.
crazy take. I think
I think they're
that's
big on him. They're big on Kraminski. He's got potential. He looked great last year when he played with Messi.
yeah. He's got
He looked.
potential. So does Musa,
He's
and
got.
Musa's better.
Yeah, but he has more confidence right now because he's getting in game out. He's
Oh
getting in
my
game out.
God!
Eunice
Stop,
isn't.
bro.
I don't think. I think Eunice comes off the bench. I don't think he's a starter. He's not a starter. He's not a starter.
Well, I didn't
Eunice
say he's going to
lost.
start. I think he's going to go to Copa though.
Oh yeah, he probably. Like I said, I think he either goes to Copa or goes to Paris or goes to both. I don't think he misses out, but
So
he's not
we're
starting.
arguing the same thing. For all our viewers who are confused, we keep saying Paris. Paris is the Olympics this summer. Just to let you all know, and then obviously the Copa is here in America, so Copa America. No, it
I
wasn't
do
named
think.
after us, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I do think that Nations League this I think it's going to be heavily semifinals might be heavily based MLS, maybe with a few Europeans, and then if they get to the finals, it's going to be heavy Europeans, depending on
yeah.
where the teams are at in that situation when it comes to the finals. Um, then there's the likes of Aiden Morris. Do I think he's going to Copa? No, I
No,
think he's going to Paris. He's going to Paris, 100%. He's going to Paris.
yeah.
Tanner, I think will go to Paris. I think it just fits more for him. Busio could go either way. Paxton, Aronson's brother, I think he'll go to Paris. What about Kellen Acosta?
No, I don't
No,
think he's not going to Copa. That's for sure.
I can see him going
Um,
to Paris.
I could see that. Will he though? Maybe.
Maybe
Uh,
not.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, if he has a good next 2 months, I mean, maybe he makes a squad. But
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
and so for me going to Copa, I think it will be Aronson, Tyler if he's healthy, Johnny Cardoza, Lucas Del Torre, McKinney, Yunus Musa, and yeah,
so you agree on Musa? You were arguing against Musa that whole time, and then you agree. You
if
agree with
he can pick it
Musa.
up, I think he goes.
I think even if he plays his current rate, he's still gonna go. So he still made
Yeah.
22 appearances. Like
Oh,
I
and
think,
Gio will go.
yeah, and Gio, yeah, of course. So let's
And
move over
then
to the forwards.
real quick
There's
before we move on,
yeah,
starters in the midfield. I think if Tyler is healthy, this is I'll give you both with Tyler, without Tyler. Tyler starts if he's healthy. He starts.
yeah,
It'll be McKinney, Tyler, and Gio. If it's not, I think it will be Gio, Weston, and Johnny Cordoza.
yeah. Nothing to argue about there.
Yeah, you could maybe make an argument for Del Torre to start. I think it will just depend on form
Yeah,
and how non-defensive they want to go.
right. All right, let's move over to the forwards. Sam, you want to give your locks before I pick them apart
100%.
this time?
Yeah, sure. So I think Gregg takes two strikers. I don't think he takes any more.
Okay.
Listening to other people talk on different podcasts with like the likes of Taylor Twellman and Alexi Lalas and Stu Holding, they're all saying different things. Some say that Gregg's going to take three strikers. Some say Gregg's going to take two. I think he takes two strikers. I think he takes, and this is a big one. Balogun
Yeah,
is a lock, 100% going to start.
yeah.
Josh Sargent.
Really?
Yes, Josh Sargent has been playing very well. If they do take three strikers, I think it should be either Haji Wright or Brandon Vasquez. And listen to this. I know people are going to
Okay.
be like, what about Ricardo Pepi? What about Ricardo
Yeah.
Pepi?
What about
Where's Ricardo
Pepi?
Pepi? Pepi goes to Paris. It will start in Paris. If he goes to Copa, he's not going to start. 100% will not start over Balogun.
Yeah,
Pepi,
but don't you think he deserves to be on this Copa team?
what would you rather have, though? Have someone build up their confidence where he's going to start.
I'd rather him play. If
Yeah,
that's
I'd
gonna
rather have him play.
if that's gonna be in Paris,
That's in
gonna be in
Paris.
Paris. But
Yes, exactly.
don't you think he deserves to be on the Copa team though? I think he's been playing well enough where
I think yes,
he does deserve to be on the Copa team.
He deserves to be on Copa, but as a person that wants to win every competition, I think he goes to Paris because he'll start because
Yeah,
he's gonna have to learn if he's gonna want to be on the national team, he's not gonna start over Balogun. Balogun's much better. Yes,
yeah,
Balogun doesn't have the goals that Pepi has. He's not starting week in and week out like Pepi, but also Pepi isn't starting week in and week out. I would rather have. I think he goes to Paris. There is a chance that he can go to both because Copa does it. Copa starts before Paris. Paris starts in July. Copa starts in June. So
yeah.
there is a chance. It just depends on how far the U.S. goes.
My prediction is he's gonna be on the Copa squad, and then he'll probably end up playing in Paris because he won't get game time for Copa.
I just think it's to not deal with is he going to play in Paris if we're still in Copa at that time. I think they make that decision of taking one or two because Balogun is your locked in starter at your 9 position. And then your wingers will be Pulisic.
Can't argue there.
And then depending
This is
how
the challenging one.
Well, it also could depend on if they play Gio out there, which I doubt they will.
I know who I'm putting on the right.
I know who I want to say, but he really isn't getting the runs in. But he's still going to probably start Tim Weah.
Yep.
Tim Weah,
So-
right?
So I'm picking I mean, you say he doesn't get the run. He still has had 21 appearances. Like it's not like he's
Mm-hmm.
not playing at all. He's obviously still pretty young. He's playing for Juventus, like a really big club. He's not going
Oh
to
yeah.
be guaranteed the game time that some of these other players are. And I don't know. I think he's a lot better than most of the wingers on this list.
Mm-hmm. I like my take. I like the Josh Sargent pick just because he can play on all three spots of the front line. He can play winger and he can play striker. He's versatile like that. I think he's a good backup, and the way he's playing in the championship, yes, it's not the best competition, but I think he makes it. Kraminski, I think he'll go because he's listed as a forward. Um, do you think? Do you think Zendejas will go? We've seen him in there sometimes.
You know, uh, it depends how many attackers they're looking to bring, but he's been playing well this year. I mean, he has 21 appearances, 8 goal contributions. That's a
Mm-hmm.
pretty good ratio. I would say he probably goes to Copa to start out with at least. I don't know how much he's going to play, but maybe at the end of games he won't start. That's for sure. But I could see him going.
I think Malik Tillman goes as well. 10 goal contributions, 5 and 5.
Yeah.
He starts in and out at PSV Eindhoven in the Dutch league. I think he goes, and I wish Pfau got more of a look. He's been pretty decent this year. I doubt he goes. Do you think the South American merchant is going in Jesus Ferreira, the man that only scores against against the Caribbeans?
I think
And
people are going to want him to go just because he played so well before. But I don't really think he should be there. I would like to see him lead the um lead the Paris team because I think he's real. This is the thing with Ferreira is he can't really do much against good teams, but against small teams and smaller countries, he's elite. Like he can bag in hat tricks. Like if he can score any type of goal against a bad team. Like I don't really get it. It's just he played so well against all the Caribbean. You said Caribbean merchant, like that's what he is basically. He plays really good against the small countries, and if we send him to the Olympics where the players aren't going to be as good, he could bag in hat tricks for us. Whereas Pepe, he might not. We don't
but
know.
the same time, I wouldn't want him to go to Paris just because yes, you have Pepe there. Yes, and then you have the likes of Duncan McGuire who doesn't get probably won't get a look at going to Copa, but what he did at Orlando for half a season, he was getting looked at by Blackburn this year. The deal fell through. Now let's see how he reacts with Orlando bringing in Luis Muriel. Um,
Yeah, but
does he keep it starting?
don't you think Ferreira's better than him though? I do.
Yeah, I do because he's experienced. But if we want to see our young talent develop better, because we're always saying we have a problem with number nines. We have some quality number nines coming through the group from the ranks through Duncan McGuire, Brian Gutierrez, Ismar Bekataric from New England, and Gutierrez from Chicago. Give them a chance at Paris. Yes, you take those veterans, but take them like in the midfield or the defenders or the goalies. You don't like. I want our like we keep saying we have a problem with our number nines. We don't give our number nines a chance. That's the thing.
I want to see Ferreira in Paris. I want to see him starting. I mean, I think I wouldn't I think he's our best chance of winning in Paris. He's not going to play at Copa. He shouldn't play at Copa. And I would like to see Pepe get some minutes, but I don't think he will either. So maybe send both of them to Paris. But either way, I think Pepe should be on the Copa roster. And uh, I don't know, man. I think
It's
Ferreira should
definitely
start.
it'll definitely be a lot different. We'll definitely look at it again
Yeah.
when they narrow it down, and then once they make that final decision, we'll definitely recap those. But I just think one person that I think will go is Kevin Paredes. He's 20 years old. He plays left wing back for Wolfsburg, and he can play winger. I think he goes to Copa as that man that just gets that experience, doesn't play, maybe plays the last group stage game, and then goes to Paris.
Yeah. All
Because
right.
he
Let
could
me
be,
let me throw one more before we finish up here with
yeah,
this. Uh, Playing for Guadalajara, just made the move this year. He's 20 years old. We're talking about youngsters. We're talking about give them opportunities. Cade Cowell, he showed flashes. He showed flashes here in the MLS and everything. He showed flashes for the men's national team. Where is he in all this? Because he's on the roster list. He's probably not good enough to go to Copa. But I mean, do you think he goes to Paris? Do you think he starts? Do you think he doesn't? Where do you think? What are you thinking here?
I think he goes to Paris. No, I don't think it's the same thing with like he has made that senior debut. I don't think he goes to Copa. I think he goes to Paris. I think he just screams Paris, and
Yeah,
that just might be the inexperience. I think he will do well. I think the not. I think how we run Paris. I think this is what's going to happen. Schulte will start in goal. I think if Kevin Paredes goes to both, I think he'll start on the wing maybe, and then your back line is John Tolkien from New York Red Bulls, who could be the future of MLS or not MLS, but left back for US. Flint Robinson's done. You have, I say you take John Brooks just for the experience, and you take, I think they take Yedlin, and then you take Jonathan Tolkien to play center back. Maybe Caleb Wiley plays left back. Who knows? Depending on how fit John Tolkien is. The midfield: Paxton Aronson, Aiden Morris, and Tanner Tessman or Busio. One of those two. Depends on how defensive they go, how balanced they want to be. You can make an argument for Kraminski to go or Jack McGlynn. And in your forwards, I think Pepe starts, Kevin Paredes on one side, and Duncan McGuire on the other. I just think that's the move. K. Cowell will be on the bench, or he could start. It just depends on where he plays.
I would love to
Maybe
see him
Diego
start.
Luna.
I would love it. That would be awesome. But I don't know. I don't think he will. But if he does, more
Yeah.
power to him. He is 20 years old. He's an exciting young player. I mean, I would love to see it.
One person I would like to see go to Copa, which I don't think it will go to Copa, is Diego Luna from Real Salt Lake. The way he played against Inter Miami on Wednesday, he looked great. He was able to win the ball
Yeah.
off of Busquets or win the ball off of Messi and go into space, attack, 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 and he was causing problems. I like him a lot. I don't think he goes to Copa. I think he goes to Paris.
All right. Well, speaking of the MLS, we had our first week of MLS games. Inter Miami having two games opening up, beating Real Salt Lake 2-0, and then they ended up tying LA Galaxy later that week. Our Columbus Crew won 1-0 over Atlanta United FC. So that's what we'll start here with the Columbus Crew. Sam, I got to tell you, we didn't look great. We were at home in front of our home crowd. It was a cold day. We scored at the beginning. We scored in the 27th minute. Cucho Hernandez, scores a kind of a putback goal on the backside. Then he misses a penalty, saved in the 54th minute. And after that, Atlanta, they decided to start playing. They decided to start possessing. We kind of sat back, and they had a few chances from there. How do you think we played, Sam? And I mean, do you think this result is repeatable?
Yeah. First of all, great win. 3 points start off the season.
It's
That's
three
what we
points,
needed.
yeah.
3 points. It doesn't matter how you get those 3 points as long as you get them. Yeah, we didn't look good. We looked flat footed. I think we're still in that honeymoon phase of we've won MLS Cup. We're trying to be the first team to go back to back since LA Galaxy back in the day with Beckham and them. And we look a little flat footed. I was concerned on some of the choices who we were starting. Um, first, first of all, I'll touch on it. Russell Rowe. I'm not a big fan of that start.
Oh my.
He cannot finish. Just 100%. He cannot finish. I know he was. People, our compatriot, colleague Caleb Kirsch will say, "Oh, he was the top scorer in next pro league. Next pro league. That's next pro league. It's not like the best players.
He's
It's
what,
the
22
young.
though? Give him a break. He's getting better.
He's young. Yeah, he's 21 years old.
21, yeah.
He can't finish though, and a guy that came over from the next pro league scoring 20 something goals, like people are expecting him to redo that in the MLS, which is not going to happen. MLS is a lot better defenders, and I don't like him starting. Just I think Christian Ramirez should start. That's just me. I think Ramirez should be the top point of our attack, and have Kucher and Rossi underneath. Um, Rossi looked great, and him and Kucher have this chemistry. A lot of people say they didn't see it, but he had 5 goal contributions during that playoff run last year. And other than that, he's a great replacement for Zelleron. My second person I didn't like starting was Zawadzki. I don't think Zawadzki should be starting.
Oh man.
Morier should have started. Like, come on, let's be real. We won MLS Cup with Morier starting, not Zawadzki. Zawadzki can't defend for crap, and that's
yes,
putting
he
it
can,
nice.
dude.
He can barely defend.
Oh
He
my!
can barely
Is that why we had a clean sheet with the back three? Because he was playing as one of them.
We had a clean sheet because Atlanta United can't put a ball on target to save their life. Oh, and I'm probably gonna hear it from Brett. Brett's gonna be like, "Oh, Atlanta United, they're good." Shut up. No, they can't score either, so it's okay. Talk about Atlanta United. They looked a lot better than us. They should have probably beat us. Gia Kubmalis should have Yakamakis should have scored like twice, which he blasted over. Thiago Almada was kind of ripping us apart. He's just pinning passes everywhere. I still think
Edmondson had that header like save there in the box too. That was because he was on. All right, to get the picture for the people who are watching on YouTube. You know, he's Almada's dribbling from the left corner of the top of the box towards the center, tries to curl it in. You know, I think Edmondson standing on the 6-yard box towards the left side, heads it out. You know, I don't know if Schulte was going to get there, and you know, it was a big save, even though he's not a goalie.
You know, we had a bad game when Edmondson played bad because he didn't look great either. There's like 4 times I could count where he passed the ball right to him.
That's true.
Or tried to clear it, and it would hit off their guy, and it would fall to Silva or Lobages. They looked a lot better than us. They should have won. I'm glad we won, but we need to wake up and say, hey, new season, forget about last year. Yeah, yes, we won MLS Cup. Yes, we got our rings that day. They brought our rings to us. We did that after the game. We can do that. That's fine. Right now, like right before when pregame starts to the end of the game, don't think about last year. Think about this year. Think about the new test. We have to forget about everything and focus on the new season.
2 things. 1, Russell Rowe. He's only 21, first of all. Second of all, he scored a lot of goals, and like the few minutes that he played last year, he really didn't have an opportunity to score. So we haven't seen his goal scoring potential yet, other than the few goals that he scored last year in the ends of games. When it comes to Zawadzki, though, the disrespect, Sam, the disrespect that he is a great defender for us, okay? He just got a new deal because he played through our youth system. He played I believe he played for the MLS Next team, Crew 2, right? And he's been a really solid player for us. He was known to be a midfielder before, a central defensive midfielder. He shifts to that right center back position last year. Prime Hani Mukhtar gets shut down by Zawadzki, and you gave him no credit. Back then, well, look at the footage, dude. Look at the footage. And he played another good game today, or not today, this past week, you know, against Atlanta. We had a clean sheet, and I don't have any I think Morera is still better than him. Sure, maybe you could argue that he could start, but the disrespect is insane. Yeah, I would have loved to see us use Christian Ramirez too. He kind of was our hero from last playoff, I mean, last year basically. Like he kind of got benched towards the end of last year, and it mostly was with we were playing Matan instead, and he was starting every single game. It was that new period for Diego Rossi getting in the team and everything, and then as soon as Matan starts playing a little better, more towards playoff time, we just bench Ramirez, and I didn't want to see that. He obviously was our hero. He scored two huge goals in the playoffs for us, and it was our big vital piece to putting a show over the finish line, getting our third title, and for him not to play at all in this game, it's kind of disrespectful again, but this time by the crew, considering how much he's done for us, and he is only 32. He's still not too old. He's going to be around for a few more years, I think. Especially because now he's considered a club legend. He wasn't a club legend before, but now, he scored the goals. He scored the big time goals. He scored the playoff big time goals. I think Christian Ramirez deserves a starting spot here. I think he does deserve to start, like Sam said, at the forefront of our attack. Have Cucho play a little farther back, where he's able to collect the ball, play make like he's used to doing. Him and Rossi are both pretty good playmakers. They're not a cam or anything, but they're both like strikers that you're used to seeing play make more so, rather than just be a pure like striker. So that's more what Christian Ramirez is. But going back to that, he deserves a starting spot. He showed up when we needed him the most. He put us through multiple rounds in the playoffs, and I would love to see him start. As much as I want to see Russell Rowe play as well, we have too many attacking players, and Sam wants us to bring in another attacking player in James Rodriguez, and I don't know, I don't know where he fits, man. Who's James Rodriguez going to take out of the squad? Because it's not going to be Nagby or Morris. We need their defense.
No, not in the back three. It would be too much of a defensive liability. So going back, I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties, but I'm back. But yeah, so Christian Ramirez, we had the best attack, and he played half of those games. Like he was starting until like halfway through the season, which made no sense. And he was a part of that big attack. He can hold up play, control the ball, and let Cucho and Zelleran and Rossi, when they played, to run off of him and to make those diagonal runs that he can just play over top and then kind of loop around and meet in the box. James, I think what would happen is Cucho goes back up front as the main point of attack. Rossi to the left and James on the right. That would fit perfectly. He would just slide in where Matan played last year. It would be great to have him.
Oh man,
and we already
Matan's a workhorse though. I mean,
yeah,
I don't love the fit of Matan or anything, but he at least would run back.
True.
I'm not sure. Is he gonna run back on defense?
James ain't gonna run on defense. But James has chemistry with Cucho because they've already played together a bunch of times for Colombia, and they have that connection. But they have that connection. Let's just bring in James.
I don't. We already have the number one offense. We don't. I don't think we need more, dude.
We have the number one offense. Let's just keep bringing in more weapons that we can use.
Let's just keep bringing more offense. Let's not.
You're telling me you want to love to see James hit a 20-yard shot?
Oh, dude, you're telling
Crew Stadium in the Fortress.
I think that'd be incredible, dude. But is that really what we need?
No.
To spend our resources on? No, it's not. It's really not. Yeah, you only missed the. I went on a Christian Ramirez rant right there while you were gone. You caught the end of it, but yeah, I think he deserves to start. And I don't know. I don't think we played that well. We would have played better if we played Ramirez, but that's besides the point.
I would love to see what Hysterica had done, but no.
Going over to the other matches, Sam, we'll go top match of the week for you. Spotlight match of the week. And what was your spotlight of the week?
Well, I think for me, since Inter Miami played 2 games, I think the one on Wednesday counts as just itself. Like, we talk about that by itself. But the first day at matchup on Saturday and Sundays, it's a tie. It's a tie due to the fact that
What do you mean it's a tie? Oh,
like
the game's a tie.
yeah, like the 2 games that I think were the best of the best that day of those days. I think the Galaxy game against Inter Miami, that game was incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Not from the Inter Miami side, but from the Galaxy side. The Galaxy looked so good. They possessed the ball well. Inter Miami could have touched the ball for a good solid 20 minutes in the first half. They looked terrible. And Ricky Pooch was dominating the midfield. Pastilla, the new signing from Genk, unbelievable. He's so fast. Watching Jordi Alba try to defend that was hilarious because he couldn't keep up with him. And then they brought in Gabriel Peck. And a lot for our viewers out there, Gabriel Peck is the highest signing ever in LA Galaxy history. And you think of the people that played for the Galaxy, they're like Gerrard, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, David Beckham. They didn't cost him anything. They paid 11 mil for this 23-year-old from Brazil, and he looked phenomenal when he came on. They moved Pastilla over to the left side, and he was causing havoc. Yes, Galaxy should have won that game. Like 100%. It was entertaining throughout the entire game. Yes, Inter Miami scored at the end of the game. They made their subs. My thing is, with that game, with Inter Miami, they look slow. How are they going to do a lot? They need legs in the midfield. That's all I got to say. Because Messi and Suarez are the 2 most laziest people I've seen play in a very long time. And that's probably like a week span. Because if you
Did you watch Hazard play?
Yeah, I watched Hazard play. He was lazy. But This is Messi. I'm watching Messi and Suarez just stand there.
Yeah.
Especially Suarez. Half the time he wasn't even on sides. He would just slowly walk back.
He always does that though, because he likes the winger to get played through, and then he gets played the square ball.
It was more of, I lost the ball. The ball's not coming to me, so I'm just gonna stand there and walk back. And he was limping too, which his knees are terrible because he is not.
His knees are horrible.
He's not mobile. He is not mobile.
I'm surprised he's still playing. Honestly, I'm surprised because if you hear his interviews, like he's saying like, oh, I can't even play back with my kids anymore. Like they asked me to come play in the backyard. I can't do it. I can't physically walk anymore. I limp all the time. I'm in pain every morning. Like I wouldn't want to do it. Like he has money in the world. Like he could go and live in Miami if he wanted to. He could go and be around the team, I'm sure. David Beckham would love it because he gets the experience around Suarez. But, like, is it really worth it to him at this point of his career to basically break down all the cartilage in his knees and, like, not be able to walk anymore? Like,
Suarez is a deadly finisher. Like, he can finish.
He's still deadly. He's still deadly. I mean,
he scored, 15 goals last season in Brazil? And I'm watching this game, and I'm wondering how the heck did he do that? Because the man can't move. Unless he was standing in the box with the defender just hanging out for the rest of the game and keeping him on sides, like literally just sitting there having a conversation and standing in the box with him, that's probably how he scored his goals. Because if you watch the last 2 games, he went 68 minutes against Galaxy. He went 89 minutes against Real Salt Lake. Did nothing. Did absolute nothing. He can't move. Watching him run to a ball is like watching a toddler try to walk for the first time because he can't do it. And with Inter Miami, the way they play, that means they rely on Gressel and Gomez and Busquets to get back on defense, which they are so slow. Well, Gomez isn't slow, and Gressel's kind of fast, but he also
Gressel's
looks really
not
bad.
fast, dude. He also doesn't get back. We saw it all last year.
Busquets is too slow.
Not bad. He just doesn't get back on defense.
Well, he needs space to dribble, and he can't do that when he plays center mid.
True.
They are linked to Luka Modric in the summer.
Slower player. Oh, he's getting slower.
He's getting slower, but he can move still. If you watch him now, like he still can
he can move. Yeah,
he can move better.
He's going on 40.
Yeah, but it's the MLS. Come on. Yeah, he can be a little slower. You could be 39 and still slow. Gerrard did it, and he was 36.
Gotta figure
Lampard did
Gerrard.
it. Lampard did it, and he was Pirlo and Lampard did it, and they were old. But
Yeah.
they need bodies. They get Federico Rendon. The problem is Rendon plays like Busquets, so it's another slower paced player. He's a little fast. Yeah, he's fast, but he's not a box to box. He's a center defensive mid. So now you bring him in. The problem is they haven't brought anyone in to replace Ferris. I think Kraminski, when he comes back from injury, he can replicate Ferris playing box to box, and that's what they need. Second thing they need is defense. Their center backs are terrible. That Krasovsky, the Ukrainian defender, is terrible. He is so bad.
He's not terrible.
Are you telling me you'd rather have him or Kamal Miller? Kamal Miller is a better defender.
I don't know. I think you're underrated. I think you're underrating him a little bit, dude.
He's also 8 years younger than Krasovsky. And Krasovsky can't run. If you get him,
Krasovsky's a really good defender. Like he can defend.
He's not good at one-on-one defending.
He's not fast.
Well, yeah, exactly. You get him alone because Jordi Alba's going to push up. So Jordi Alba's going to sprint back every time. And he's not fast anymore to do that as often as he can. So now what happened in that game was, and the same thing happened against Real Salt Lake. Luna would go at him one-on-one. He couldn't do anything about it. He would have to foul because he's not good. They are linked to someone who is older, but he can defend good. In the name of Sergio Ramos. He is being looked at by Saudi teams and Inter Miami. Get Ramos. You have missed out on getting him this summer.
Don't you? I was gonna say, don't they? They already didn't want to sign him last summer. You know why are they?
They wanted to sign him. Ramos wanted to go back to Sevilla. One last time. Yes. That's what he said.
Maybe.
In the interview he did when he joined Sevilla, he said he got a chance to come back to his boyhood club. He made a promise to his grandfather and his father or whatever to go back to Sevilla for one more time. He goes to Sevilla. He's had that. He has that farewell crap. I wish he went back to Real Madrid. That's a whole nother story. He goes to Inter Miami. He would make him and Tomas Alvial would be a great pairing. Now, Inter Miami will have to realize that they're not going to win every trophy. They're probably not going to win. They might win one, to be honest. I'm going to give them one. I think they win CONCACAF Champions League. They win that. They are not going to win MLS Cup. They are 100% for sure they're not going to win MLS or Leagues Cup.
Supporter Shield.
They won't win the Supporter Shield. They won't win Leagues
Sam,
Cup.
let me inform you real quick that Inter Miami are right now in first place in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
with the most points.
Where are they going to be at the end of the season? That's the thing.
Actually, they're winning the Supporter Shield right now.
Oh, if the season ended today, but that's not at the beginning. But you forget.
Stop the count.
Let's stop it now. But now here, I think halfway through the season, two things are going to happen. Tata's going to take out Suarez from the starting lineup and go with Campana. I think that he realizes that yes, Suarez brings tickets, but Campana can move. He can move. He's mobile, and he's better defending corners. And two, they're gonna have to get as many points leading up from now till the summer, because I'm just gonna name some guys off that will not and probably not be available for them during Leagues Cup and MLS. They will miss at most 6 games.
Go for it.
Tomas Alvial, Diego Gomez, the possibility of Luis Suarez.
I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna play for Uruguay.
He has not retired, and he does say he wants to play in Copa one more time.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe he will then. Yeah, Messi's definitely gonna play. Yeah. Yeah, he will. Yeah,
that's
he's gonna play.
6 of the starters. Oh, and Kraminski. 6 of them start for Inter Miami. Kraminski will start when he comes back. Oh, and Rendon. So 8. 8 players will not be available for Inter Miami during Leagues Cup and when MLS starts back up. due to Copa America and Paris. Because Diego Gomez will be in Paris. Krasinski will probably be at both. Calendar will probably be at Copa. He probably won't play, but he'll be at Copa. Messi will be at Copa. Maybe a chance that he goes and plays in Paris. Suarez will be at
Wait. Did you say Messi's going to play in Paris too?
He technically could if you really wanted to.
He's not going to play in Paris.
You never know. It's the last
They hate him. They hate him in Paris, dude. What do you mean?
Oh, it's Argentina. It's different. Suarez,
Yeah, I know.
Copa. Yedlin, Copa or Paris. They're not winning crap. Let's just be real. They're not winning crap there. Well, they're not even, yes, they're the best team on paper, but they're not the best team in the East. I think the Crew's better. Red Bulls are better.
Red Bulls are better?
Forsberg, that man can move. He looked very good. That was my second
he looked good, but
against
Messi,
Nashville,
that whole team, dude, they're really solid.
Yeah, they're very solid on paper, but it's literally...
And Red Bulls are okay on paper.
No, they're very good. Watching them against Nashville, they look good.
That's why I said on paper.
No, they look bad on paper, but they look good playing.
That's what I was saying. They look okay on paper.
We're not even talking about... I think Orlando City is better.
They are, yeah.
They're the best team in Florida. They're better than Inter Miami. Because,
over a season probably, yeah.
Over a season, yes. On paper, Inter Miami looks better, 100% better, because they have all the flashy names. Suarez is a non-factor, because he won't do anything. He hasn't done anything. Prove me wrong, Suarez.
Give him some time.
Yeah, give him some time.
Let him adjust to the difficulty of the MLS.
Oh my gosh.
Let him adjust.
It's not the Brazil league anymore where you.
There is a lot more travel. There's travel.
There's better players.
All right, we've talked enough about your teams. Okay. My game of the week is LAFC versus Seattle Sounders, 2-1. LAFC taking over. Tillman scoring in the 50 or 45th minute, and Bogus, as I like to call him, scores in the 55th minute. Another solid showing for LAFC. We heard the rumor. Well, two powerhouses of the Western Conference playing each other early in the season. It's always a good showing to see. It was always going to be interesting to see how LAFC are coming off that loss in the final to, a really, really solid Crew team. And we saw a lot of rumors this summer this past January for Bouanga.
Bouanga.
Yeah. Well, leaving. I mean, he was supposed to be leaving. But I want to see if they can make it back to the final. I mean, what do you think their chances are? I mean, they beat a good Seattle team. Do you think they could make it back to the final again this year?
There's a chance. I like what they did. Bringing in Lloris, a great keeper. He looked great. Yes, he conceded a penalty to De La Vega, who is a new signing for Sounders, or new star. He's good. I think Lloris was a great signing. They lost a lot of people. And
yeah, they did.
No Kellen Acosta, no Max Crow, no JJ McCarthy, no Palacio on the left side. They bring in Omar Campos from Mexico. He looked great. They brought Atunsa back. Like I said, no Acosta, no Carlos Vela. But there is rumors that Carlos Vela is coming back. It's the whole financial thing that's going on with how much they can pay a certain player is hindering that. But according to some of the players...
Weren't they trying to see if he was going to be a DP, too?
Yes. Yeah, they're trying not to get him to be a DP anymore, which is possible because they did with Gareth Bale, and they've done it before with Chiellini. The thing is, he hasn't cleared his locker out. His locker's still full of his stuff. So he is coming back. That's according to Aaron Long. Aaron Long said that his stuff is still there. So they are looking to bring him back. It's just a matter of time. And I think he comes back, he starts, and then they push Bogish back to the center mid. If he comes back, I like what he do. They will do. I think if Seattle Sounders sign Chuma Rodriguez from Cruz Azul.
Yep.
Sounders could be a threat. I think Portland's a threat.
Well, they looked good. I mean, both teams looked really good in that matchup. That's why I thought it was probably the matchup of the week for me.
I think the best team though in the West is Portland. What they did against Toronto, Colorado in the first half alone, 4 goals.
Yeah.
Like people say,
you're not bagging in 4 goals against Seattle. I mean, if you're LA, like
you might.
No,
you
dude,
might.
stop. Bro.
This Portland team is very good.
No one said they
still
weren't.
up front. Williamson coming back from injury. Anton. Look at, and you bring in Kamal Miller to strengthen your defense. And
they also played Colorado.
Yeah,
though. I mean,
they played Colorado, but they got a good firepower. They got some good attackers.
I guess Colorado did have Steffen, but like still.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, we will move on from the MLS. There's a lot going on in Europe currently. The Champions League is back in full run here. Obviously, my Barcelona team tying Napoli 1-1. We looked pretty good the whole game, and then Osimhen, just happened to get a cheesy goal and ended up tying 1-1. It's funny because he gets subbed off right after he scores too. They were getting ready to bring him off. He scores right before he gets subbed off, and now he's actually, I think he's questionable for the next game.
He got injured in the weekend.
He got injured, yeah. Porto ended up beating Arsenal on a brilliant winner. Left edge of the box, curls it in, last minute of the game. I mean, they even showed on TV Thierry Henry, just like his face when Arsenal got scored on. It was the greatest thing. And I love Thierry Henry. That's my favorite player. But like just seeing him and his love for Arsenal and them getting scored at the last minute was incredible. Those were the Wednesday games, and then the Tuesday games. PSV and Dortmund 1-1. Another not a great game from Dortmund. They could have played a lot better. PSV is still a solid side, but they're not on the level. And then Inter beats Atleti 1-0. Sam, what's your game of the week?
From those games?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty decent games. Probably Inter Atletico. It was I watched the game. It was a very hard fought game. Both teams weren't budging. Lautaro sneaks in a goal at the end. I would say Atletico Inter. My team played the week before, getting the dub against Leipzig. We love to see that. We're healthy. I think probably, though, yes, the game of the week in the Champions League is Inter Atleti, but I would say game of the week this past weekend has to be Real Madrid Sevilla. The return of the king, the man, the myth, the legend, Sergio Ramos.
You mean Leipzig?
No.
You're saying La Liga. Okay,
La Liga.
Gotcha.
Sergio Ramos returns to the Bernabeu, where he's only played one game as an opponent at the Bernabeu. And
hold on, we'll get to that. Let's talk about Champions League first, and then we'll go into EPL, and then we'll finish up with La Liga there. This upcoming week we have a few different games. Sociedad, PSG. PSG is currently up 2-0. And then Bayern versus Lazio, where Lazio is up 1-0 on aggregate. Sam, what do you think of Lazio? Do you think they have what it takes to beat Bayern or even just tie them in this game? I mean, they're going to the Allianz in Munich. One of the roughest places to play. Obviously, I know as a Barcelona fan. Do you think they could win here?
It's a tough one. If it was back in Lazio, I would say Lazio 100%. It could be. I think this goes to extra. I think Kane scores. send it to
Okay.
extra, and then I want to say I think Lazio wins it on pens. Um,
No way.
the,
Okay.
the state of Bayern Munich right now is in shambles, and my favorite guy over there, Thomas Tuchel, uh, ruining another club. What is this? His third club he's ruined in the last 3 years. We saw him ruin PSG, we saw him ruin Chelsea, and we've seen him ruin Bayern Munich. So yeah, I don't think
Two big clubs.
the way Bayern Munich's playing, no, they don't win. PSG,
Okay.
I think PSG beats Sociedad 100%. Kylian
Yeah.
Mbappe scores both probably. Shows why he's coming to Madrid in the summer.
Stop. I hope not.
He's already
All right. I mean, I agree with you on the PSG front. I think Bayern's going to go out and beat them 3-0 probably.
Ooh.
I think they're pretty tough to beat, especially at home in Germany where it's their fortress. So I'm picking Bayern. Dude, I know firsthand, and maybe I'm overrating them because I'm a Barcelona fan, but I think they win at home, they go through here.
I don't know. Their fortress has kind of been penetrated by some teams like Leverkusen and and Werder Bremen.
Yeah. Well, those Werder Bremen, they're underrated squad.
Yeah, the team in 8th place.
Yeah. All right. Going over to the Wednesday games, March 6th, we have Man City versus Copenhagen. Man City is off to the 3-1 lead so far. Shows that Copenhagen are 13-1 odds of going through now, which is pretty far odds. I think City has this one in the bag. I don't think it's going to be close. They have way too much squad depth, and they're going home. I mean, is there anything else to bring up here, Sam?
If they play like they played against Luton, it's just going to be a thrashing. First half.
Copenhagen are a little bit. They're a little better than Luton.
I don't know. First half hat trick for Haaland.
Oh man, they made it out of their group. Okay, give them some respect.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other game, the one that is going to be the real thriller here. Real Madrid take on RB Leipzig. Obviously, Real Madrid ended up winning 1-0 in the first matchup in Germany, and go home to the Messi's playground. I mean, the Bernabeu. And I think the Madrid will take care of business here, but I would love if they got knocked out. I mean,
Real Madrid hasn't lost a single game in Champions League this year.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I would love to see Leipzig, throw a 2-0, 3-1 type game in and push Madrid to the limit. And
Dude, we'll be back.
maybe tire them out for this weekend too. That'd be nice. But
dude, we'll be
back. Sam, what's your prediction?
2-0.
Oh, you think Leipzig wins 2-0? Okay, nice.
No.
All right, moving on to the.
Real Madrid 2-0. Jude Bellingham's.
All right, to the Premier League. All right, actually moving to the Premier League now. We have some pretty tight top four here. Liverpool in first with 60 points. City moving up the table with 59 points. Arsenal 58 points. Those top three, I mean, 2 points separate them. And then Villa with 52 points. Sam, what do we got here? 3-horse race for the first time in I don't know how many years, or is it a 4-team race?
I think by the end of the season it becomes a 4-team race. Yes, we have Liverpool sitting at the top at 60 points. City 1 point behind them. Arsenal 2 points behind them. This is Liverpool's race to lose. with Liverpool's injury history, and I know Kirsch is probably going to say something completely different. Kirsch is probably going to say Liverpool wins this, but for me, City wins at the end of the season. Liverpool's injury history right now is terrible. The likes of Salah and Sabalasai and Nunez and Allison and Thiago, they're all injured. Their squad depth is not as good as City, and what we've seen from City in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they look unstoppable. City wins the Premier League. I think it will come down to the couple last games, and you forget that Liverpool still has to play City in about 2 more games. They play City, and Liverpool still has to play United, Tottenham, and Villa. And they end the season at Wolves, but they have Tottenham and Villa before that. I think Liverpool, they will lose the league again, and it goes to City. 100% City. I think Tottenham finishes 4th over Villa at the end of the season when it comes down to the end of the season. I think Arsenal will get 2nd, Liverpool will get 3rd.
No way. You think Liverpool dropped down to 3rd?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Arsenal and Man City have been so much better over the last month and a half than Liverpool.
So the most informed team right now in England is actually Arsenal. They've won 5 of their last 5. They moved all the way back up to 3rd. What are their chances of winning this Premier League title? Last year we saw them burn out in the second half of the season. It looks like they've only gotten better as the season's gone on. That Saka's in form, Martinelli's in form. I mean, they're really in form right now. Like, you can't stop them. City's also in form, but when Arsenal's playing at their best, they're really tough to beat.
I think they still have to play City, so their real test will be City. They still have to play Chelsea.
Stop.
Because that game got postponed. Hey, it's still a game. It's still a game.
They're in 11th.
It's so.
We'll get to that later.
They still have to play Tottenham, and they still have to play United and Villa. It will really show how they do against City and how they do against Villa. And that will show us how if they win the Premier League. Those are probably their other than Tottenham those 3 games will decide if they win the Premier League. And right now, their focus right now is also in Champions League. So if Arteta decides to pull the plug in the UCL run, then maybe there's a better chance. But I still think City is the top favorite.
Yeah, I don't disagree they're the favorite. I just think Arsenal prepared themselves better this year for a full title run rather than a surprise title run. If that makes sense. Where they've brought in the reinforcements that they evaluated last season, what went wrong, brought in the transfers, brought in the depth, more importantly, and they're in form in the second half of the season where they weren't last year. So that kind of rounds out our top 4 here. Now over to the Chelsea check with Sam. Chelsea are sitting in 11th place currently with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. They're 10, 5, and 10 on the season. They have an upcoming game against Brentford this Saturday. Sam, what are you thinking right now? What's up with Chelsea, dude? I mean, Poch hasn't really. I mean, they lost against Liverpool the other day in the Carabao Cup. Why don't we start there with the Carabao Cup? Because I know the Premier League is a tough subject right now for you. Carabao Cup is still
would be a touchy subject too.
Yeah, but it's still fresh. It hasn't fully crossed over. What happened, man? Because you guys were playing your full squad, near full squad. You didn't have Thiago Silva, but Liverpool were playing not their full squad. I mean, they were missing quite a few players. Like, what's up, dude?
So I'll hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Chelsea, they suck. That's all I gotta say. They suck. Like, come on. If we can't beat a bunch of kids, that are 18, 19, 16, 17, 18, whatever. It's bad. Yes, if we had Thiago Silva, maybe that goal doesn't go in and we go to pens, and we'd probably lose at pens on there. Actually, we'd probably have a better chance of winning if we went to pens. Thiago Silva there, he would probably head that out. Poch, he's got to go. He's got to go. Let's see how the end of the season goes. We are still in play for one trophy. One trophy. We did just today move on in the FA Cup. We are playing Leicester City.
Hey, they're in form too. They're first in the championship right now.
But we're not playing Liverpool, United, Newcastle, or City. So
yeah, that's a win. Yeah. That's a win.
That's a win. Yeah. And Liverpool has to play United in the FA Cup, so go United for one game.
Oh my god.
Newcastle City, and that should be a City win. And then the Wolves take on Coventry City. Go Coventry City. They're probably not going to win. But yeah, Chelsea, we need a new manager. Yeah. We need a striker that can finish a goal in Osimhen. And it's pretty much the same story I've been saying pretty much since the beginning of summer. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Nothing's changed.
So there have been reports, Sam, where Chelsea unfortunately cannot fire Poch due to FFP rules. Well, and therefore they also can't sign Osimhen because of FFP rules.
Well, we are,
which means house. You guys need to sell a lot of players.
Oh, we are.
Who are you going to sell?
Borja, Chalobah, Cucurella, Diassi, Kepa, Lukaku, Gallagher,
Sterling?
Probably Sterling, maybe Mudryk.
What?
Maybe Wesley Fofana when he comes back. Maybe Reece James if he gets bought by someone. Yeah, we're gonna sell a lot of people. There's a lot.
Gusto has been looking good. I mean, I know some Chelsea fans are saying that he should be your.
We might cash in on Santos, Angelino, Nico Jackson. We might cash
already.
In.
Already? I thought he was the next Drogba, bro. I thought he was the next Drogba.
No, he's like the next.
He's not like Drogba.
He's like the Chelsea Falcao. Terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, this same story for Chelsea.
Okay. All right. So things looking up for Chelsea, it looks like, right? So
no.
We will move over to Spain, where the table is heating up in Spain. Real Madrid are in first place with 65 points. Girona is in second with 59 points. Barcelona heating up, 57 points. Only down 8 now, Sam. Getting nervous already? Just wait till the next El Clasico. But going back to the fixtures, Real Madrid just played Sevilla, like you had brought up earlier. They won 1-0. Not a very enticing victory. You know, they didn't. I don't think they played the best, to be honest. They played fine, you know, but Sevilla's not a great team. You know, Modric kind of bailed you guys out at the end of the game. You know, we saw the pictures of Sergio Ramos holding back his teammates and stuff like that. So they wouldn't get cards and whatnot. And just what's going on, dude? You guys could barely beat Sevilla.
We played well, 100%. I think we played well. 64 possession at 36. We had 16 shots, 6 on target to their 4 shots and 1 on target. We dominated
possession. 5 in the back though.
Yeah, they had 5 in the back. We played very well. I just think we couldn't finish our chances. We needed Bellingham. We needed someone big in the middle to get on headers. We didn't have that. It was nice to see Rudiger back. No Carvajal, so no dynamic play from our backs with Vasquez. Modric comes on, scores that winner. So happy. But I'll give it to Sevilla. Ramos looked like old Ramos. He kept everybody in check. He defended very well. He asked Jesus Navas for the captain's band, and he said yes. That's why he was wearing the captain's band that game. That was great. Honestly, if that game ended 1-1 with a Ramos header, I would not be mad. I'm happy they got the win. They
I
got
would
the
have loved
points.
it.
I loved it. But if Ramos scored, I wouldn't have been mad. I think the La Liga race is over. Once El Clasico happens, it will 100% be over because Girona does not play Real Madrid any more times, and both times they played, they lost a whopping 7-1 aggregate. So they are pretenders. We don't play. I believe we do not play Atletico Madrid anymore. We are done with them. So it's smooth sailing for the rest of the season until Barca on April 21st, which will be a dub because it'll be at home, the Bernabeu, and Barca sucks. So
Shut up.
they're in shambles.
Speaking of Barca,
they're probably going to hire Tuchel at the end of the season.
We did have our most dominant win of the year.
Yes, you
this
did.
past week against Getafe.
Oh,
okay, which
Getafe.
aren't a great. All right. We did win 4-0. Okay, Rafinha, he looked great at the beginning. He scored. João Felix scored. He looked great. Christensen looked great at the CDM role that he's been playing at. No one thought he was able to do that. De Jong scored a nice goal as well with the Rafinha assist. And to finish it off, Fermin Lopez with the ending goal to top off the great day in Barcelona.
And you finished that off with reports of signing Tuchel in the summer.
No, we did. No one wants Tuchel.
If
anything, the reports of Flick have gone up.
Right now, it's Flick and Tuchel as the main favorites.
Yeah. But we do have a tough schedule coming up here. We have Athletic Club as our next league match on Sunday. Then we play Napoli, or we play Mallorca. Then we play Napoli. We play Atletico Madrid. And then in April, we play Real Madrid, Valencia. In May, we play Girona and Sevilla. I mean, we have quite a few good opponents remaining. This is kind of the time of the year where we need to be at our best form. Beat Napoli. Try and win the Champions League if we can. We are getting into better form currently, so it's possible for us to move on and maybe get into quarterfinals, semifinals, and then from there on, anything is on the table. But we really just need to focus on the league currently. We have a lot of tough matches coming up, and making sure the squad is rotated. Not playing Wonder Boy Yamal too many minutes because we've seen what that does to our players before. Xavi's been good about that. Just Rafinha getting back from injury is helping out a lot. And I could see us coming back if we beat Real Madrid in April and we stay in form. I could see us winning the league. It's a long shot, but it could happen. The league's not done.
After the El Clasico game, Real Madrid wins, it is over. Hate to say it. Real Madrid.
If Real Madrid win, it's probably over, yeah.
Yeah. Real Madrid's gonna. I think they have a chance of winning Champions League. I think they are going to win La Liga 100%. I can say with 100%, I think we'll win La Liga, and we'll
100%.
And we'll bolster and we'll cap off the season with some trophies, and then after in the summer, bring on Alphonso Davies and Kylian Mbappe because they're coming. We've already agreed a deal with Alphonso Davies, and Mbappe has already said he's coming.
Whatever. Have fun paying Mbappe's $250 million signing bonus.
Oh, he's taking a huge pay cut. He's like taking half of what he made at PSG.
Yeah, but he's getting that $250 million signing bonus.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, that's fine. You
guys have money. It's fine.
Yeah,
You're hosting an NFL game next year. You'll be fine.
Dude, we're hosting Taylor Swift next year.
Oh God, who cares?
2025, she'll be here.
Your club's gonna be cursed if that happens. So
no,
I'm fine with that.
Never.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that kind of pretty much wraps up the episode today. Just one last thing in the news of a guy that could be coming back out of retirement, Sergio Kun Aguero, former City legend, former cameo at Barcelona for 2 games. Um, could
Legend.
be coming out of retirement for the Independent. His good friend Carlos Tevez coaches there in Argentina, but he said there's a lot more tests that have to be done before he's ready to return to first division football. I think if he returns to football, he can make a play. Inter Miami's probably going to want him. He'd probably do more than
I
Suarez.
I don't want to see him in the spotlight. I think
I
he
don't either.
should go and play for Carlos Tevez, have a happy rest of his career. I would love to see him come back and be healthy,
Oh
because
yeah, same.
that's all we really want for him is to be healthy, whether that's on the pitch or not. But like if he's able to be on the pitch and be happy doing it, like all power to him. I don't really want to see him in the spotlight though, because if something were to happen, and I don't want the pressure to be on him and to perform, especially when he might not fully be there. He's been retired for over a year now, and he's probably not, in the shape of games, yet. But I would love to see him play again. I'm gonna watch if he does.
Oh, same, 100%. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the episode today. This will be out in the next couple of days. Definitely keep a lookout for it, as well as our NBA podcast. We'll try to get that out this weekend, probably Sunday. Try if we're available. I think I am. I don't know about the rest of them. But yeah, and then the NFL podcast will be out soon. Definitely have one out right before preseason, or not preseason, free agency starts before the draft. Mock drafts, I have them done. They're just probably won't give them out because I kind of want to see where teams address the needs in free agency before they go into the draft. And then college basketball will definitely come out with one soon right before March Madness. But yeah, so we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace.